I'll take it away. Go ahead.
Great. Hi, I'm Al Swang. I am a committee board member and also on the transportation committee. My responsibilities tonight is to inform you of the Secretary Street sign policy for Manhattan CB4. Next slide.
Why don't you push it?
What is it? It is a secondary street sign similar to the flat panel panels that number our streets and avenues now, as you see in this photo. So how this come about? The law and New York City Administrative Code 19-159.2 allows us to have code naming of street signs, which is called the San Marino Street Naming Policy. It was signed into law in 2003 and then revamped in 2007 and is managed by the Department of Transportation. Why do we have this law? Is because it's usually meant to honor members of notable entities that have done services to Manhattan before. This does not replace the primary street signs, which is the avenues and the street numbers, and is typically mounted either above or below the primary street sign. Within Manhattan CB4, which is the area of 14th Street to 26th Street between 8th Avenue and West Side Highway, and then from 26th Street to 59th Street, 8th Avenue to the West Side Highway, we currently have 10 designated secondary street signing. Four of them are in Hill's Kitchen, 6 of them are in Chelsea. What is the sponsorship process should you be interested? A person or groups must sponsor the ceremony name, then they propose the area to the community board, and then they must gather all of the required documentation and then present that to community board, at which point we review the application. And next slide is that the requirements is for extraordinary cases. The prospective honoree must be deceased for a period of at least 1 year for consideration and demonstrate extraordinary historical significance within the CB4 district. If you are an individual, you must have at least 10 years minimum community involvement, or if you're an organization, at least 50 years. An organization cannot be a nonprofit, and a nonprofit is defined by the New York State nonprofit corporate law. Most entities start with the 501c.
I thought it did have to be a nonprofit.
Cannot be a nonprofit. Did I say cannot? Must not be a nonprofit.
Must not be a nonprofit?
That's what our thing was. That's what I'm trying to change.
Nor for profit.
Well, we got a chance. I think it's gotta be, no, yeah, it can't be that we're only, can't not be, it's gotta be, it has to be a nonprofit.
That's
Probably.
Yeah.
So we need to, I mean, there are, yeah, we gotta update it. Great.
This is a working document. I'll get back to you on that.
That's very helpful.
It says
See the
not,
value of.
in our word, it says must not be a non-for-profit.
No, you did correct.
It does say it in the word,
Must not be not for
corporation.
It's very, it's not.
No, but that's like that's needed.
Thank you for calling attention to the fact that the language must be fixed.
I
Great.
will fix the grammar. Okay, so for individual and must have served record public service to Manhattan Community Board District and must have strong local support for the proposed sign and virtually no oppositions. How do you get strong support? You can also do a petition. There are 2 ways to do a petition. One way is to have a minimum of 200 signatures, which must include name and addresses from those who either reside or have a business within a 10 square block of the proposed signage. Alternatively, you may also do a petition with 500 signatures, which must include 45 names and addresses from those who either reside or have a business within the Manhattan Community Board District. Then you come to the community board to have your presentation. At this meeting, you must acknowledge that the applicant has reviewed all of the materials and demonstrated knowledge of the prior applications that have either been approved or denied by community board 4. So at this meeting, there are some denials that may happen. For example, in events, either man-made or even Mother Nature. It cannot memorialize victims of either accidents or disasters. It cannot promote commercial retail, And if there is already a secondary street sign for that personal organization, or if there is already a pre-existing secondary street sign for the corner for which you are petitioning for. So some suggestions that we have as alternatives will include either a building block, a sidewalk placement, or a bridge placement, none of which is managed by Manhattan CB4. If you have any questions or are interested in applying for this, you may go to our website listed here, or give a call to our office listed here as well. Thank you, and I will make the motion.
I have a correction. Wait, I have a correction too, it's like when you have all the steps, the last step is the council, the city council needs to sign it.
Yes,
And they only do that twice a year.
Right, and so it's, you can just say
so yes,
city council as a step 5, whatever.
after it goes to CB4, we approve the names.
Can't override us.
Then can.
They have overridden other
Yes.
community boards in the past.
Right, they can do whatever they want.
Great, sorry, questions? We don't have any.
First, that was
Yeah,
Amazing.
mind blowing.
like that's exactly how.
I've left the room. But I did have some questions, just because of the last two that we actually approved and more, towards the Ritchie's corner. How do we follow up with organizations or individuals? So for example, we asked the administrator of the avenues, why not do something at your school on your property? So how do I know if she ever followed up with that? So they wanted to do the corner, but I said, why not do something on a room or door or in front of your building?
Yeah.
How do we follow up?
You call
We
them.
don't.
Let them talk.
Okay, the second, okay, thank you. The second was, they actually asked for the 25th corner, but they went to 26th without coming back to us. How did they make the switch?
Well,
Oh, I think that got it done, like some of these are just get done administratively, that kind of.
I
right,
mean, 'cause I do have a different feeling about it. I wanted 20, I'm more, yeah.
Yeah, I don't, well, wait, so I don't.
So they moved
don't
it,
remember what happened.
we talked about, they came to us and said 25th.
I don't.
And then it
remember
was
what
moved to 26th.
It was,
And then the
yeah.
third part is, how do we get notified when these things are happening?
well, usually the council member calls us and invites us
Yeah, but no, that's fair, that's a
for
fair
the
point.
opening.
Listen, I was gonna say that I still have neglected to update some parts of of our policy that we voted on. Including an appendix that was supposed to be in there about examples of those that we've denied. I will include that sort of language somewhere in there about the fact that if there are additional changes or requests, or you should make sure you're in contact with the district manager. And I'll go back to the video.
What's the Robert Trent line, did it already cover that?
What's
The
that?
Robert Trent line, that already covered the ceremony? Oh, she mentioned Robert Trent. Is that Robert?
I think that happened.
What you mean, I didn't know about it. I left it before.
All right.
Oh, I didn't know.
Any other questions?
What's the notice about it?
Thank
And
you.
then we put it on the web, we put the presentation on the website.